wish I could record this in a better setting, better light, but I just got the news, and this is official, I think, that Andreas, my boss, the only guy who ever really gave me a job long term, the only guy who ever gave me a chance to earn a living by myself without my parents' support, the only person that believed in me ever. I mean, I'm not saying that he liked me. I'm saying actually believed in me, that he was my boss, that he thought I could sell at commission, and he thought that I was so good that he could run his business off. That's because he believed in me, and I didn't believe in me, and that's why I quit, because I didn't think I was as good as he thought I was, and I was wrong, and now he's dead. And we were estranged, and we made up in February, and part of it was because what he was doing was amazing, but the reason we made up was because I told him life was short, and that, you know, you only have so many chances to fix things, and, you know, and my friend had just died, another friend, and I felt like I couldn't help her, and I couldn't help her because I was depending on my family for money, and I couldn't spend my own money, so I had to earn my own money. So I called Andreas back, and I said, I need another, I need to believe in myself again, because there are so many people in the world that I want to help, and I have to be able to have money to do that. I can't just live like an artsy bum like I do. And so I decided in February that I would change my life, and I'd go back to Andreas, and I would make amends, and I would become a better person. And even though you don't really see that online, because I'm, whatever, I was trying to keep things, because I wasn't allowed to tell you the exact project that we were working on. So it was sort of top secret. But now I guess now it's completely out in the open. And he had rehired me for Black Book. It was going to be an amazing thing. He was Black Book, and we were going to he was going to make an application that would help art directors decide which creative people they wanted to use by putting together their own Black magazine. It was going to be an application, and I was just like, wow! And this guy's a genius. He was just a marketing genius, and I never appreciated him. I really didn't. I never appreciated him for his brilliance, because part of it probably was because of his accent. It was just like the worst accent. But for some reason, that accent also it made people put down their defenses when they heard it, because they thought that he couldn't speak English. He actually could speak English better than anyone. He was college educated in the United States, but anyway, he was just no matter how messed up in the head I am, and I admit I'm slightly messed up, all right, with my customers, with him as my boss, all right, there never was a problem. I mean, there were problems, but I mean, he was able to work with me. No one has ever been able to work with me before. And I blamed a lot of it on him, but also it was because I didn't want to shoulder the blame on myself, which is that I'm a freak. The idea that I could sell products is crazy. But he believed in me, I think because he had long hair. I didn't even have long hair. He just believed in me. I don't know why he believed in me. I still don't, I guess, know why he believed in me. Because he was making money from me, I guess. That's why he believed in me. But, I mean, no one had ever taken that risk in me before. And I shouldn't be talking about me, but that's the kind of guy he was. He literally gave people chances, people that probably didn't deserve those chances. And sometimes those things worked and sometimes they didn't. If you worked for this guy, you could get by. I'm not saying it was great. He would scream at you and stuff. He was a really, really, but the truth is, He did scream at me, and it was really scary, and I probably deserved it. You know? I probably deserved it. And I thought I was the artist, and I could be eccentric, and, like, you know, I just didn't understand things, and, like, he always believed in me, and he took me back. Even now he's dead. He just blew up in East Harlem. I just, like, you know, wake up one morning and kaboom, your whole house is gone. And I guess the details of the East Harlem explosion don't really matter now, because, I mean, I'm not going to get a chance. I'm not going to be Black Book now, because he's dead. Because it's over. And he's got a beautiful wife, and so many friends. And, you know, I mean, I guess if you're going to live life, you know, you should have lots of friends. And I could learn a lot from Andreas. I mean, he really, you know, I wish I were more like him. And I guess if you're up there, Andreas, that was the one thing I was telling the truth about, is the reason I left is I really was afraid for my life, because I really didn't think I could do my job right. And I was probably right. Now that you're gone, I didn't tell you when you rehired me that I went to jail for stalking. We didn't even talk about that. Maybe you knew. I don't know. I mean, that was what it was. And it was because I have a really hard time communicating with women. And yeah, sometimes not just with women, with people. I'm not a great communicator. The reason I was a good salesman was because I worked very hard. You knew that. I worked very hard. I worked so hard I was crazy. And I'm a very good researcher, so I was able to find leads. But I'm not a great salesman. And I guess that's what it takes to be a great salesman. It's hard work and lots of research, not the pretty face. I mean, my teeth were fucked up, and my hair is creepy, and I wear weird clothes, and sometimes I stink. I show up to appointments and I stink. And I have so many stories to tell you. I mean, so many stories about Andreas. So many stories. But I can't do that all in one sitting. So, oh God. I remember here, when I first started working for Andreas, we worked for the Yellow Pages, and we were breaking the Verizon monopoly. And so I had an appointment with a landscape designer. And it was my first day working for Andreas, or like maybe the first month, and I had never had a meeting before. And I go to the meeting, but I don't bring the Yellow Pages with me. I don't bring the book. And when I get to the meeting, the guy goes, "Oh, so can I see the Yellow Pages?" I go, "What do you mean? You don't have the Yellow Pages?" He's like, "Well, I want to see your Yellow Pages." It's like Yellow Pages like any other Yellow Pages. And I had to go all the way back to Andreas's office to get the book and go all the way back to the appointment. Because, and it was an honest mistake. I wasn't trying to outsmart the guy. I was that stupid. It's like, that was the kind of toleration he had. He was just the best sales manager, and I was just the absolute worst employee. I mean, I'm good. I work hard. I work really hard. I work harder than anyone else. But not as good as he thought I was. And he believed in me, and like, I don't think anyone ever believed in me. The only person that ever believed in me, and he believed in me because he made money off of me, but he believed in me, and he believed in other people too. And I just feel awful. I feel like I lost my father figure, you know, because like I hated him and I loved him at the same time. I loved him, hated him. I mean, that's the only way I could explain it. I mean, I called him terrible things. I called him anti-Semite. I called him all kinds of stuff. And all his clients were Jewish, you see. Like, they were all, like, moving companies, and there were so many Jewish people that he was dealing with. And I was Jewish. And I would see him get very angry. And I was in the office. I lived in the office. In fact, you don't know this. Andreas was such a cool boss. I was homeless. He let me sleep in the office for years. That's the kind of boss he was. So, I guess I really don't know if this will do you any justice. He was a musician. I mean, he played guitar. Really, the whole sales thing wasn't his gig. But that's how I knew him. And I was hard on him. I was unforgiving. I was really unforgiving. And that's, you don't hear me say this much, but, I'm unforgiving. I mean, I come across unforgiving. I think people don't get that about me. And I called him to forgive him when really I should have, I was really needed to forgive myself. And, now I'm in trouble because now really there's no one in the world that really will believe in me, because no one did. No one believes in me except for that one guy. He's the only person that ever thought I could bring in money for other people. The only person, and I did. And and when I came back, he called his mom and he said, "Yes, Noah's back." It was like I didn't realize how important I was that he would tell his mother. That I didn't realize I was that way to him. That I thought I was an employee. I mean, I thought it was about money, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And I guess the reason God took Andreas from us, from me, I mean, everyone has a different narrative, but for me it was because I had anger, wrongly placed anger, and I was able to let it go and to move on and to try again and to reach out. And in this case, I was wrong, you see. I was wrong. I didn't know it, but I was wrong. And so I needed God, I needed to be able to forgive someone, even though I really needed to forgive myself.